It's the Champions League final match day and it is absolute crunch time. All the games kick off at the same time. It's gonna be carnage. And I'm gonna try my best at predicting the final games of the Champions League. So if you are enjoying the adventure, smash the like, hit that big red subscribe button down below to follow me on my Champions League journey. And hopefully City can beat Bruges to stay in. But let's get into the predictions. First prediction, Liverpool take on PSV in Eindhoven. It's a big game for Liverpool. Can they go 8 out of 8 and be the perfect team in the group? Well, they're 7 out of 7 so far. They're absolutely killing it in the Premier League. Top of that, top of the Champions League. Who looks like they're going to stop Liverpool this season? I don't know. But maybe PSV can do it. They are pretty much through. They're 90% through. It'd take a hell of a miracle for them to go out. I mean, Sporting would have to win. Stuttgart and PSG, well, those two play each other. So I think PSV are going to be okay. But I think they'd like a draw or a win going into the next round, just for a little bit of confidence and for a little bit of solidity that they're definitely through. But no easy game in the Champions League, and Liverpool have just destroyed everybody, and I don't think that's going to stop. I think PSV will give Liverpool a good game, but I think Liverpool will do what they've been doing all year and just beat everybody. I'm going 1-0 to Liverpool. That is my prediction. Liverpool to go perfect. 8 out of 8. Bayern München take on Slovan Bratislava. Now, there isn't a possibility for Bayern to get in the top 8 unless some serious results and goal difference went their way. However, it's still possible. They still could get in the top 8, and knowing Bayern Munich, they're at home against a weaker Slovan Bratislava team who find themselves not at the foot, at least they're not last, second to last in the Champions League. But this will be their World Cup final, Slovan Bratislava. They're heading to the Allianz Arena, they're heading to Bavaria. They've got nothing left to lose. They are definitely out of the competition. But Bayern, they need a win, and they'll probably get a win. They've got to win this game to give them hope of getting in the top 8. The top 8's not confirmed. Only Liverpool and Barcelona so far have booked their places confirmed. The rest of the teams are up for grabs. I think Arsenal and Inter are pretty much there. They just need draws. I think Bayern are going to win this quite convincingly, even though they got destroyed to Feyenoord in the last match day, which pretty much cost them the top 8. Because if they would have won these two games, they probably would have got up there. But I'm going Bayern München 4, Slovan Bratislava 0. Bayern München to bounce back at home and maybe get in the top 8. Borussia Dortmund take on Shakhter Donetsk, and like Bayern Munich, they have to win to give themselves a chance at the top 8. There's kind of 3 clumps in this table. You've got the top clump of like Arsenal, of like Inter, of like Atletico. Then you've got the middle clump of like Bayern, Madrid, Borussia Dortmund, teams that have got to win that can still have a chance at the top 8. And then you've got the bottom clump like PSG, City, who have got to win to stay in. And we'll get on to City in a bit because we have to preview that one with all ears because we've got to win that game. Dortmund, I think they're at home as well, playing Shakhtar Donetsk. It's a little bit of a derby. I'll tell you why, because Shakhtar Donetsk have been playing their games at Dortmund's biggest rival stadium in Gelsenkirchen. So it's kind of like a Schalke Dortmund. It's the closest we're going to get to one for a long time, because Schalke have obviously been relegated. But I think Dortmund will get this win easily enough. I'm going 3-1 to Borussia Dortmund at Signal Iduna Park. Could they get the top 8 as well? Leverkusen currently sit in 8th, and they've got to beat Sparta Praha. Now, Sparta are already out, and they're just here for the vibes, aren't they? I think Leverkusen are going to win this one. They're at home as well. All 3 Germany teams are at home. I mean, if you could time travel, you could be all 3 at once. Realistically, though, Leverkusen should win this game, and a win, probably a draw will be enough, but I don't know with this new format. A win definitely secures them in the top 8. That's what they need. That's what they'll get. 3-0 to Bayer Leverkusen. I don't think Sparta Praha will disrupt any celebrations of getting in the top 8. Girona take on Arsenal. Now, I'm quite surprised about Girona, only on 3 points. They've been a bit disappointing. I was expecting a little bit more from the La Liga title-chasing team last year, but unfortunately, they just haven't been able to amount any rise in the Champions League. They are out, and Arsenal, all they need to do is get a draw. They're in this little top clump of the table. I think Arsenal will do that, but it'd be interesting to see if Thomas Partey is out for injury reasons or out for personal reasons. We'll have to see if he can travel into Spain. I think that's the most interesting thing about this game, because I think the result will be a quite convincing Arsenal win, and they will secure themselves in the top 8. I'm going 3-0 to the Gunners. Nice and easy for them to get the job done and get in the top 8. Barcelona, Lola, take on Atalanta. Now, Atalanta have been so good this year. I've been so impressed with them. And they currently sit 7th. Now, Barcelona are through. They're guaranteed to get in to the top 8. And they need a point to secure 2nd place. I think that helps for the seeding, which is why I think Liverpool will take PSV seriously. But Atalanta, all they need, I think they've got to win, because there's a couple of teams on literally 1 or 2 points behind them that if Atalanta lose this game, then Atalanta could be in the knockout playoff rounds rather than in the top 8. So I think Atalanta will get a draw. I think a draw might be good enough for Atalanta. I don't know with Madrid, with Barca, with Bayern Munich, with Borussia Dortmund. If they win, that could knock Atalanta out. So they need to win this game, and Barcelona don't. So my gut says Atalanta to win, but Barcelona have just been too strong in this competition and are my actual personal favourites to go and win this tournament due to the fact that they are the most inconsistent team in La Liga. They can't win against Las Palmas. They can't win against Osasuna. But the minute that they play against Real Madrid, they win 9-2 on aggregate. And the minute that they play Bayern Munich, they slap them 4-0. So don't ever write Barca off, even though they're already through. But for me, I'm going to draw. I'm going 1-1. This is going to be an interesting game. Will 1-1 be enough for Atalanta? I hope it is. They deserve to go through. Never underestimate the power of the Brest, and they take on the kings of Europe themselves, Real Madrid. Now, Brest were in the top 8, running away with automatic qualification until a couple of bad results. Now, they lost in the last match day, and they need to bounce back. And why not a home to Real Madrid? But Real Madrid, right, had 3 games. We were on it with Ahmed. He said Real Madrid have got 3 games to save themselves. And they're doing exactly that. A win in the last match day at home, and then a really good win away at Atalanta in that game. I mean, Real Madrid just haven't been performing in all competitions this year. However, they are starting to click into gear. Never underestimate the kings of Europe. Mbappe scored a hat-trick at the time of recording at the weekend. As well, Real Madrid are now top of La Liga and could hit the top 8 of the Champions League with a win in this game, and other games go their way. They'll have to hope for everybody above them to either draw or lose, as well as Milan and Atalanta. If the Atalanta 1-1 is as I predicted, that would be great for Real Madrid. I fancy Madrid to get in the top 8. Never write Real Madrid off. I did as a City fan at the Bernabeu, and then next minute Rodrigo breaks my heart twice. So I'm going Madrid to win this game. They've got to win this game, but never estimate the power of the Brest, who are actually above Madrid at the time of recording. So I'm going 3-1 Madrid. I think they've got to win. I think Brest will score first, and that'll wake Madrid up. I can see Mbappe bagging a couple on his return to France. Here we go then. It's City versus Bruges. Bruges could knock us out. City have to win. We got destroyed in Paris after going 2-0 up. I've never been so wet and so absolutely rained on at a football match in my life. It didn't help that I was at the front row. But nevertheless, it was an utter... It was a cracking day. I really enjoyed it, even though we got beat 4-2. Just the manner that we got beat. PSG used all the momentum, and if they would have lost, they would have been out. And now the same happens to us. Win and you're in, lose and draw, and you're out. How are we in this position? That is inconsistency at its finest, and that's why I love the new Champions League system. City are on the brink of elimination for playing bad, and we deserve to go out. We've got 3 losses, 2 draws and 2 wins in the Champions League. That is relegation form in the Champions League, and we deservedly are in the position we're in. And if this was the other format, then it'd just be, oh, well, City just need to beat that other half-decent team at home. They can draw away, and they can beat the 2 easy teams. Do you know what? This is why this new format's clear. We've played hard opponents, we've not won, we've lost games, and we're being punished for it. And now, we've got to beat Bruges. And Bruges are unbeaten in 19 games! In all competitions, 19 straight games. So they're not the easiest team. I remember we played them at home in 2022. We beat them by 5-0. Cole Palmer actually scored that game. But this is a different kettle of fish now. Bruges know that if they lose, they could be out as well. They're currently on 11 points. We're on 8. If we win, we go on to 11 points. We've also got a superior goal difference over Bruges. Therefore, win and you're in. I do not want to see my Champions League dream taken away from me. Because, let's be honest, right? City are not going to win the Premier League. Liverpool have won it. And anybody that goes, oh, City make the league boring. We don't. Because when we don't compete for the Premier League title, it's over in January. So yeah, be sure to ask yourself, do you want to see a title race that hits April, May, rather than it's over in January before slating City? So therefore, the Champions League, we're out the League Cup. FA Cup is a bit hit and miss. We don't really do well in that. Therefore, the Champions League, it's a cup competition. Anything can happen. Therefore, I think we should really go for it in the Champions League. And that's why that defeat in Paris stung like a wasp stinging you on the backside. So we got to win, and I'm putting us to win because I'm going to get behind the team no matter what. I'm going to scream the house down from my seat at the Etihad Stadium. Obviously, I don't miss games. I've not missed a City game for a while. I've not missed a home game since 2021 due to me having COVID and having to self-isolate. That was the only reason why I missed that one. So yeah, I'll be behind the Blues more than ever. And if Bruges win, I'm going to do this for 60 seconds on my video after. Bruges! So we're going to win. Come on, 3-0 win. Let's have it. Bruges' first defeat in 20. Young Boys take on Red Star. This is one of the non-interesting ones. Sorry, guys. Listen, I love Red Star Belgrade. One of the best atmospheres I've ever been in. Even though some of the ultras robbed my mate's flag and beat him to death when we went to Belgrade. Not the safest place to ever go and watch a game, but the atmosphere is ridiculous either. Both Red Star and Young Boys are out, so it's playing for pride. Young Boys are at home. They're at the bottom of the table. Surely they've got to get something. No, because I like Red Star Belgrade, even though they robbed me, mate. And I'm going for a 3-1 win to Red Star Belgrade. Lille take on Feyenoord, and Feyenoord are cooking ever since they went 3-0 down at City. Ever since then, they've been absolutely cooking. They beat Bayern 3-0 at De Kuip. They've had some brilliant results in the Champions League. And if they win this game, and a couple of others go their way, such as the Atalanta draw, Feyenoord go into the top 8. Like, this is why this tournament is amazing. Because Feyenoord look all but mid-table, push into the relegation places, into the playoff round, maybe even relegated, who knows. Now they could get the top 8 and they've deserved it. They came from 3-0 down against City, battered Bayern last week, and I don't see that sign of stopping, even though Lost Lille have been very good this year. But Feyenoord are on the roll, they're on the form, I'm going for them to win in Lille by 2-1. You heard it here first. Juve are still unbeaten in all competitions, but classic Italian way. Most of them have been draws. Most of them have been 0-0. Most of them have been 1-1. It was the most predictable game last week that Bruges and Juventus would finish a draw. I called 1-1. It was even boringer than that. It was 0-0. Now Benfica, absolutely robbed against Barcelona. I'm sorry they were robbed, but that got Barcelona through. And now Benfica are 21st because of that. And if Benfica would have won that game and won this game, and they did enough to win that game other than bottling a 4-1 lead, they could have been into the top 8. I see this one a draw. But I just don't see a way in which Feyenoord can win because Benfica will be out for blood after getting absolutely robbed in that game at the Estadio de Luz. So I'm going 1-1, but Feyenoord could win. Benfica could win. It'd be a good watch, actually. If you're a neutral and don't care about any other game, watch this one. Or you could watch Villa versus Celtic, which is a great game. Celtic are playing okay. They're not going to get into the top 8, so this is all on Aston Villa. If they win and a couple of results go their way, they'll get into the top 8. However, in the last 2 games, they've kind of shot themselves in the foot. A bit of a disappointing defeat to Monaco. What can you do, eh? You can't win them all, but I think they should have got something from that game if they were serious about getting into the top 8. Villa have been a bit hit and miss this year. Like, even with the draw against West Ham at the weekend, even with, I know they beat City, I know they drew with United, like, they've had some inconsistent results. They played alright against Arsenal in the 2-2 draw. They've got to win this game for me. And obviously Celtic will have, 10,000 fans in the home end, so the atmosphere is going to be crazy. They'll have the 3,000 fans, plus 7,000 fans in the home end, and about 3,000 more that will try and jib in. They're probably going to bring down half the community of Glasgow, just like Rangers did to United. Rangers didn't get the result, and I don't see Celtic getting one either. But, I don't know, when they came to City, it was 1-1. The Glaswegians would take a draw, to be honest, but Celtic can't get the top 8. Villa can, so therefore Villa are going to win this game by 3-1. Atmosphere at Villa Park should be top. If you can get a ticket, go, because it'd be great. Zagreb, they could get through. And Milan, who me and Faz ruled out, are in the top 8 as things stand. And all Milan have got to do is win, and they are into the top 8. They've been on some crazy form. And now they've just signed Kyle Walker, completing your most OP fullbacks in FC25. Teo Hernandez on the left, Kyle Walker on the right. Try and beat that. But they go away to Zagreb, and Zagreb have been really good ever since losing to Bayern 8-2 in the first game. They've actually been a really good side to watch, playing some good football. I know they got beat to Arsenal in the last match day, but Arsenal away is a hard place to go to, and they only got beat 2-0. They actually played quite well. And a draw would be good enough for Zagreb to stay into the knockout phases, but they are knocking around to the foot of it, and for a City perspective, I'm hoping that Zagreb lose this game because, well, City need to get into the knockouts. They are on the same points as us, so yeah, I'm a bit concerned about this game. I will have one eye on this game. I'm hoping for AC Milan to win, but I can only see Zagreb getting something from this game. I'm going to draw, even though my brain says Zagreb are going to win this, but my heart for City, we need a draw or a Milan win. Milan can get the top 8. It's out of our concern. City have got to concentrate on Zagreb's result and try and better it, as they're on the same points as us, but we do have a better goal difference. So I'm going 1-1. I could be wrong. I'm hoping Milan win. I'm sorry, Zagreb fans. I've got to back my team, and that requires your team to not do very well. Inter take on Monaco. Inter just need a draw, and they're secured in the top 8. Monaco had a great win against Aston Villa, and with a win, they could potentially get into the top 8. But I just don't see a way in which Inter lose this game. I'm going 1-0 win at the San Siro. Classic Italian. Classic win. 1-0. Clean sheet. That'll do Inter. Sturm take on Leipzig in quite a pointless game. Both teams are out. Leipzig just haven't had the run of the fixtures. They've had some very, very difficult games, but they've made meals out of games that they could win. They should have got a result at Celtic Park. Maybe should have got draws at home to Juventus, to Liverpool. Obviously, losing away to Atleti is no shame, but they've just not played well, and this will be an interesting game. It doesn't really mean a lot, so maybe Sturm can get something. So I'll go 1-1, Sturm to get a point at home. Red Bull Salzburg are out, so it's not really much, but it's a big game for Atleti because they're currently in the top 8. They've had some good results in the last couple of match days, albeit some inconsistency over the performance, but that's what Simeone does. They don't play well, and they get results. So I think they're going to win this one because they've got to win. If they win, they're in the top 8, so I think they'll do that with a 0-0 win. Classic Simeone performance. Sporting take on Bologna. I will also have to have one eye on this game. Bologna are out, but Sporting currently sit a little bit above us, about 2 places above City, on 10 points. Now, if they win this game, they are definitely through to the knockoff playoff round. I'm hoping that Salzburg can get a result, but it is Sporting at home. However, they were racing ahead under Ruben Amorim, and ever since he's left, they have definitely struggled, and it is clear to see. Gyökeres hasn't been scoring as much, the team isn't as fluid, isn't as solid at the back, and they're obviously missing their Portuguese manager. But they've got to win this game, and Salzburg, they're not the easiest team, but they're not the hardest team either. They should win this game only just. I'm going with a 1-0 victory for Sporting Club de Portugal. They've got to win this game. Listen, I really like Sporting. They're my favourite Portuguese club, but I need them to lose. I'm sorry, I need them to lose for City. But if they were to win, as long as Zagreb lose, City should get in one way or another. And that is because the final game of this prediction is Stuttgart versus PSG. Stuttgart are a place above us on 10 points, and PSG are 2 places above us, also on 10 points. Somebody's got to win this game, right? Or somebody's got to draw. So either they draw and both go on to 11, and City have got superior goal difference over both, meaning that we'll go above them. However, if there's one winner of the game, then that team will finish on 10. If City win, we will go on 11. We will get ourselves in. So to be honest, it is kind of a blessing in disguise that we are playing Bruges and PSG and Stuttgart are playing each other. PSG, obviously, I think are going to win based on the performance of what I saw in the last match day. They really turned it on after going 2-0 down and deservedly slapped us with a baguette in the face and beat us 4-2. And even though Stuttgart are at home, they've had some decent performances in the Champions League, but then they've had some others on getting smashed away in Belgrade by 5-0. Or 5-1, don't quote me on the score, but it was something like that. They got battered. So therefore, it doesn't really matter which way this game goes. If they draw, City can go above them both. I hope that's the case. But if Paris win, City will go below Paris on points, but City will still get through due to Stuttgart staying on 10, and if City win, we go to 11. We've kind of been blessed with the fixture list, but I'll take it. I'll go with the 2-0 PSG win, but I'd love a draw to go above them both. So there are your Champions League final group match day predictions. It's this league group phase. It's crazy. All the results mean something, bar about 3 games. So make sure to find as many TVs as you can. Ask your gran, ask your nan, ask your dog, ask your cat, ask your dad, ask your mum, ask anybody you know to lend you a TV or a phone so you can keep up to date with all these insane Champions League games all kicking off at once. It's going to be carnage. But if you have enjoyed the vid, smash the like, hit that big red subscribe button. I will see you on Wednesday for City versus Bruges at the Etihad Stadium in an absolute must-win. But we've been blessed with the fixtures. Let's just hope we beat Bruges on Wednesday and get ourselves through. I'll see you then. Hopefully, I'll see you in the knockout playoff round.